Direct your out-breath to them, sending them what they need in the moment. Kindness, love, compassion. And again, this might take the form of a word, just naturally kind of floats on your breath out. It could be peace, love, or it could be a feeling of warmth.
Good morning, dear Amani Center. This is Reverend
Belinda.
Belinda.
Out-breath, send something
Thank you for
good
joining us
to
for
this
the
other
10-10
person.
meditation. A way
So
to get
breathing in something
centered
good
and
for
grounded
yourself,
before the inspiring
compassion
Sunday
and kindness.
service. So,
And
if you
breathe
would
out
like
something
to
good for
get
this
comfortable,
other person. In
sitting
and
upright in your
out.
chairs, maybe with
One
your
for
eyes
me,
closed.
One for you.
Come home to your body.
If your mind
And
starts
notice
to
the
wander, you
feelings
can
of your
refresh
feet
this
on the
image of
floor,
yourself and
or
the
your
other
seat
person in
on
your
a
mind's
cushion.
eye, and bring your attention.
Notice
back to
any
your breath.
internal sensations that maybe
Might
even
be
bring your
arising
hands back
right
to your
now.
heart.
To get that grounded
You may
physical
notice the
connection
beating
and
of your own
sensation.
heart.
But
The
breathing
feelings of
in the
pulsing
ease of
energy.
compassion for yourself,
And remind yourself
and the
that
ease
you're not
of
just
compassion
bringing awareness
for another
to your experience
on your out-breath,
but loving
as you
and
enjoy
kind
your
awareness.
meditation.
As you gaze gently upward at that point between the eyebrows, that light of your own awareness. And adopt a physical gesture that represents this caring attitude, perhaps putting your hands over your heart. And notice how your body responds to this physical touch, the warmth of your hands. And you can feel free to leave your hands here for the entire meditation if you like, or you can put them in your lap, maybe palms turned upward, open and receptive. So now bring your awareness to the breath, taking a few deep breaths, big inhalations and big exhalations, just filling up the lungs all the way, and then letting it all out. Allowing yourself to release as you exhale, and then allowing your breath to return to normal, natural rhythm. Your mind will probably wander, and when it does, when you notice that it has wandered, simply call it back. Gently usher it back to where it needs to be in the moment, centering your attention and letting your awareness rest in the breath and breathing in and out. And recognize that you're nurturing yourself with each in-breath, paying particular attention to the inhalation. And notice as you breathe in, you're giving yourself what you need in the moment. You're nurturing yourself with every breath. And if you're struggling with anything in your life, breathe in a quality, maybe kindness, love, compassion, and bring this quality in completely with each inhalation. And then maybe perhaps there's a word that really can rest on the breath. Peace, peace, as you inhale. That represents what you most need. Or maybe it's just light, imagining golden light or a quality of warmth. But allow yourself to receive something good with each inhalation. And now, sending compassion to someone in need with your out-breath. As you breathe out, bring to mind someone you know that might need some compassion, extra nurturing. Allow their image to arise in your mind's eye. Direct your out-breath to them, sending them what they need in the moment. Kindness, love, compassion. And again, this might take the form of a word, just naturally kind of floats on your breath out. Just staying inward for a moment longer. Love.
Take this beautiful
It
energy
could be a
of
feeling of
compassion
warmth
and love
or an image
and
of golden
kindness
light
for yourself,
but with
and
each
for another.
out-breath, send something good
Let's take it
to this
inward
other
and do
person.
divine healing prayer together.
So breathing in something good
Knowing
for
that
yourself,
there is one power,
like
one
compassion
presence,
and kindness,
one infinite
and
intelligence,
breathe out something
that
good for
guards
this
and
other
guides
person.
us, that
In
lifts and
and
loves
out.
us, that created
for
us
me,
in the image and
one
likeness
for
of
you.
love. So
if your
when our
mind
breathing
starts to wander, you can
and
refresh
out
this
for
image of
ourselves
yourself
and another,
and the other person.
what we send
in your
out
mind's
to
eye,
another, we
bring
have
your
already
attention
given to
back
ourselves.
to your breath. And maybe
so
even bring your
holding
hands back to your heart
ourselves
to
and
get
this
that grounded
other in the
physical
light and
connection
love
and
of the
sensation.
divine. We know that we're
But breathe
instantly
in the
healed and
ease
made
of
whole.
compassion
For
for
we have never
yourself
deviated from the perfect
and the
expression
ease
of the
of
divine
compassion
as us.
for another.
We're so grateful to
on your
absolutely know
out-breath
this,
as you
know
enjoy
this
your meditation.
about everyone else. And it's our joy and our pleasure to send out this loving vibration to everyone else across this planet, holding him in that same love and light. So we release this and let it go for the highest and greatest good of all, knowing that it is already done for everyone, as we say together, and so it is. Have a blessed morning, dear ones. Enjoy this wonderful, insightful, inspiring Sunday service. Thank you for spending your time with the Amani Center this morning. Namaste. Stay inward for a moment longer. Take this beautiful energy of compassion and love and kindness for yourself and for another. And let's take it inward and do a divine healing prayer together, knowing that there is one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that guards and guides us, that lifts and loves us, that created us in the image and likeness of love. So in our breathing in and out for ourselves and another, what we send out to another, we have already given to ourselves. And so holding ourselves and this other in the light and love of the divine, we know that we're instantly healed and made whole. For we have never deviated from the perfect expression of the divine as us. We're so grateful to absolutely know this about everyone else. And it's our joy and our pleasure to send out this loving vibration to everyone else across this planet, holding him in that same love and light. So we release this and let it go for the highest and greatest good of all, knowing that it is already done for everyone, as we say together, and so it is. Have a blessed morning, dear ones. Enjoy this wonderful, insightful, inspiring Sunday service. Thank you for spending your time with the Amani Center this morning. Namaste.
Logan, which camera? Over here. Here? Okay, thank you. Are you ready to raise your vibration and just start your morning on the best note possible? Then stand wherever you are in your homes. Sing with us as we join Ascension and testify to love.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices in the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify love. From the mountain to the valleys, the rivers to the sea, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace, every simple act of mercy, every step to come, all the hope in every heart speaks what love has done. I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. And be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. And be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love.
Thank you, Ascension. And welcome to the Amani Sunday Experience. Thank you so much for joining us from wherever you are. We are still virtual only during the month of January, so just grateful that you tuned in from your homes, from your patios, your yards, your vacations, wherever you are. So we like to begin our service by reading through our vision statement. And so we're going to bring that up on your screen so that you can speak it aloud with us. We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And so that is something that we take very seriously here at Amani. It's what guides everything we do, our classes, our programs, our workshops, our Sunday experience, everything. This is always in our hearts. And we're going to talk a little bit about the classes and workshops, but I also want to share something with you that we have, which is very special and really serves the community, and that is our Circle of Light. And so that is our community of ministers and practitioners who are here to treat for you, to pray for you, to do affirmative prayer, to know the truth, and help you through any of those challenging times in your life. So can we bring that slide up, Logan? So there's a, I don't see it on the screen though. Is it on the live stream? So there is a number you can call, or you can reach out. That's to our email, admin@theamanicenter.org. You can call us at 530-677-2300. You can drop a comment below that you would like someone to treat with you. If we have anyone in our circle of light, practitioners and ministers who's watching right now, just let people know that you're available in the comments. And that's how we connect each other. That's how we stay in community. And if there's something that's weighing heavy, you don't have to deal with that alone. We are here for you. So please do reach out. Okay, so now we'll take a moment and go through our announcements. And so we begin with the fact that we are still virtual. So we have made the decision, the Amani leadership has made the decision to stay virtual through the month of January. Then we'll check back on the numbers by the end of the month, and we'll let you know how February is looking. The first Sunday of the month is always a virtual Sunday anyway. So we'll be letting you know how that's going up, but I think we're going to be heading back to being in the space again. So for the month of January, I'm going to bring up our calendar. And so our theme for January is I release and I let go and begin again. And so that's an awesome way to begin the year. Today is the 23rd, and we have the wonderful Reverend Donna Apadoni speaking. I love this January because it's a 5-Sunday month, so that means we get to bring more people in to speak, and we have such a wealth of wonderful speakers to call on. And then next Sunday is our last Sunday of the month, and we'll have our wonderful Reverend Sherry Wynn speaking. So tune in for that. Okay, we are looking at Dream Builder Live time of the year. It's every January, and so Mary Morrissey's doing it virtual again this year. It's a 3-day just powerhouse event, all day long, 3 days, and you can join this for the special Amani price of $97, and that's for all 3 days. And that includes the packet of information that goes with it, and then they're doing something really special this year. You can invite a friend for free if you with every paid admission, and about half of that paid admission comes directly to Amani to support our program and our center. So this is a great deal. This is just a fun, powerful 3 days, and it's a great way to start the year to supercharge your prosperity. And that can be in your finances, it can be in your finding your dream job, your relationships, your health, just a home, whatever it is that you're really looking to bring in to vibrate on a higher level. Mary is the master. She knows how to do that, and she does a great job with these programs too. They're fun and engaging, so I really encourage you to sign up for this. There is a link to sign up at theamanicenter.org, and that's the case for pretty much all of our classes and programs. You can go to our website and sign up right there. So sign up for that one. Okay, and then Rise and Speak is going to begin again, led by our wonderful ministerial intern, Mitch Austin. This is a great program, lasts for 8 weeks, and it's going to begin on February 22nd. So you work on crafting and delivering messages of love, hope, and inspiration. And this is a powerful, powerful program. You're going to work on your story, on that moment, that thing that changed your life, and learn how to share it in a engaging and sometimes funny, sometimes really heart-wrenching way, depending on your story and just what works for you. So it's a great program for kind of learning how to do a little bit more engaging, connected speaking, and also just exploring some of our own stories. You also get really tight with the people you're in this group with. So it's a wonderful program. I encourage you to sign up. Last week, I think there were 5 spots left. It's only 8 or 9 people who are allowed in this program, so it's very intimate. So if you've been thinking about that, sign up at the Amani Center, and this will be in person, assuming that things are by February 22nd, that we're going to be coming back into the space. That is not supposed to be up there. That's from last week, so we can ignore that one. And I think we have the wrong slides up. Yes, we surely do. So that's okay. We'll fix that. But we will take a moment now to bring up the Bless the Service. We're using last week's slides is what's happening. So we got to look for in the Slack channel for this week's. Okay, but right now we'll take a moment and we'll just bring it in and we will bless the service. So if you've got anything in your lap, set it aside, put your feet flat on the floor, and if it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close and then just receive a breath in, becoming fully present in this moment, in this space, wherever you are. We are all together. We are all connected in the one mind, the mind of God, the mind of spirit, the mind of the universe. And we are always in this space, but it's so good to take time every day and really become aware, really focus on it, set everything else aside, and just be in the space with God and with each other in this connection, in this place of love and abundance and wisdom, truth, joy. And so we just breathe into that knowledge that we are divinely supported and connected, that everything that we need or desire is here for us. And we have only to turn to this source, to our source, and say yes, and be willing to receive it. And so I know that today's service is unfolding perfectly right now, divinely, just how it's meant to. I know that everything unfolds in a perfect way, and perfect in the sense that it's just how it's meant to unfold, not some false idea of what perfection looks like. We can breathe into it and know all is well. And that's true on the planet too, as we look around in chaotic times and it feels like it's not perfect. We can breathe in and know that all is well, all is unfolding with purpose, and that it's going to be okay. So just breathing into that knowledge that it is going to be okay, and that it is already okay, and that we are okay and supported and loved. And so I'm so grateful for this truth. I'm grateful to know that this is the absolute truth of my life and of each and every life on the planet. We are all connected and we are all well. And I release my word into the law, knowing that as I speak it, it is already done. And all is well. And so together we say, and so it is. And so now it's time for our affirmation. And so we're going to bring that up on the screen. We're going to speak it 3 times together. The first time we'll say it with energy in a full voice. The second time we'll bring it more into our hearts and speak it in a whisper. And then the third time, just please join me mentally as I speak it aloud. Today's affirmation is brought to us by the wonderful Reverend Donna Appadoni. So let's begin. As I release and begin again, my heart is open wide. As I release and begin again, my heart is open wide. As I release and begin again, my heart is open wide. And together we say, and so it is. And now we have our pre-meditation song from Ascension.
right here, right now. I am whole.
Okay, now it is time for our meditation. So this, just again, putting your feet flat on the floor. If it feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Receive that cleansing breath in, filling your lungs and belly with the clean, good air. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then releasing, slowly, purposefully. And again, pausing at the bottom to calm, bring the blood pressure down, and become fully present in this moment. Take a couple more of these deep, purposeful breaths as you settle in. Let your back be straight. Feel your feet grounding into Mother Earth. You can picture roots going down from your feet, deep into the planet, connecting you, grounding you, reminding you how solid you are, how held you are, how connected you are, how connected we all are to Mother Earth and to each other, holding us down in a grounding way, in a solid way, to where we feel that readiness, that we are solid, we are ready, we are able, and we're not in it alone. And at the top of the head, the crown chakra, you can imagine a bright light that comes down from above, from the heavens, from the sun, from the universe, directly into your crown chakra, into the top of your head, allowing that white light to lift and inform as it flows through your body, almost like liquid. It's glittering, it's informing, it's uplifting, and it flows down from the top of your head, through your body, all the way back to your toes, so that you are at the same time grounded and connected and uplifted and informed, connected to that above, connected to that below, and connected to each other in this amazing web of life, all divinely informed, all divinely held, safe, warm, with the resources that we need to know that we have this, that we are good right now. And so as we spend a few moments in this knowledge, let's bring something to mind that feels like a struggle, feels like a challenge. And knowing this complete connection to Spirit, to Mother Earth, to Father Sky, to all that is, just visualize yourself holding whatever that challenge is, holding it and giving it over, releasing it to be healed, letting it go. You can put your hands out and visualize it just evaporating from your hands into the universe, where it is completely handled. So spend a couple of moments in meditation, seeing this release, letting go, and knowing that all is well. staying in this place of meditation, this place of deep awareness of our connection, it's time for a healing treatment. A moment to bring to mind anything, any situation, any person, anything that you are dealing with in your life or seeing on the news, seeing on social media, hearing about from other people that feels like it could use a healing, use a reminder of the truth of all that is. And so now's a time to speak aloud the name of someone who could use healing. Or you can speak that situation. Whatever it is, just use this moment now to speak aloud. And it can be multiple names, multiple people, and it can certainly be yourself. Whoever it is that you wish to place in this healing energy. And just do that now. And just feeling that energy of all the people and situations being shared across our community to be held up into the light. I know that each and every one of them is a divine emanation of spirit. Connected, uplifted, informed, held in the light in every instant of their being. And I know that whatever their challenge is, whatever the lift that they are being called to do right now, that they are here for it. They are down for it. They are ready, connected, strong, part of this energy of connection that is occurring on the planet right now. It's chaotic and it can feel frightening and it can look so strange, but we know that it is all part of the divine unfoldment that's happening, and that there is much shift, there is much that is unfolding right now, and that that is all part of the divine plan. And so I know that every person, every thing, every situation is held in this love, is held in this divine intelligence, and that all is well, and all is unfolding exactly how it needs to. And so again, we breathe in, we release, and we just let it go, knowing that it is already done and that all is well. And we do this with great gratitude. And we do it over and over again as many times as we need to do it to remind ourselves that this is the truth. And so I know that as I speak my word, it is released into the law. It is already done. I know this is true for all of us and for our planet. And together we say, and so it is. And now a song from Ascension.
I release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm wholly here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm wholly here for God.
love that song. Thank you, Ascension. Okay, before we get to our speaker, we have a brief ceremony, if you will. We're going to install our 2 new board members. So I'm going to ask them to come up on the stage. And hopefully you guys can share this mic. They're going to read the board installation. So I'm welcoming the wonderful Steve Andrews and Nicole Andrews to the altar and also to the board. So grateful to have them here. So Steve will be stepping in as the new treasurer and Nicole is stepping in as secretary. And so what we like to do is have them read the oath of office, basically. So take it, Steve and Nicole.
All right, we're doing this together?
And try to get in here so they can hear you at home too.
We read in unison.
We'll try.
Sounds good.
Okay. I, Steve Andrews,
And Nicole Andrews
accept this position
on the board of directors of the Amani Center with an open and willing heart. I will always do my best to perform the duties and responsibilities that are mine as a member of this board and to promote understanding, clear communication, and a sense of fellowship with members of this spiritual community.
I dedicate myself to actions and decisions that are consistent with my personal values and that promote only the highest and best good for this board, our ministers, and the Amani Fellowship.
In partnership with my fellow board members and our ministers, I accept the responsibilities of this position on the board of directors of the Amani Center in a spirit of trust, love, and divine purpose. And I agree to fulfill the requirements of board membership as stated in the Amani Center bylaws. And so it is.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for making that fun too. I enjoyed that little back and forth. Okay. All right. And so now it is my great honor and joy to introduce our speaker today, who is the wonderful Reverend Donna Apadone. She's been here many times. She is always a favorite. She is a wonderful speaker and just a wonderful person and minister. And we're just so grateful to have her here, Reverend Donna.
Good morning, Amani. I love the graphic of me. I don't know if you can see that at home, but there's a graphic of me holding cake. That sounds about right. Let me pull this up. Hold on a second. There we go. All I tried to do was make an adjustment to the music stand, and peripherally I saw 2 musicians get up and run to my rescue. Thank you. As I release and begin again, my heart is open wide. Well, those certainly aren't original thoughts, are they? You heard the song by Beckwith and Byers. You know that's part of what we've been singing every week. And it doesn't feel like any kind of release can happen until we see the connection between release and what comes after release. That's an important connection. When I gave Marcy the name and the affirmation this week, I said, "You're glad to come to Amani," because the theme is always something that I've either been working on recently or something that I need to pay attention to. So it's good to have that sort of jolted and good to have an example here in January of something that's so important because a big release is underway. For me personally, for people in this room, for you wherever you're watching and listening, for the world right now, we're going through a major release. So acknowledging that, being aware of it, is an important thing that we can do individually and as a community, a really big community. Every new year we say, I am so glad to get rid of that year that's ending. I am so glad that's over and we can go on to the next thing. Well, you know, we said that when 2020 ended. We said, I am so glad for 2021, let's do it. And you know what happened? It wasn't that great. It had some nice moments, it had some good things to it, but it wasn't quite what we had in mind. It wasn't quite what we imagined it could be. Why is that? Maybe we asked too much of it. I mean, it's really only a collection of dates on a calendar. And we demanded and requested so much of a year. Make our lives perfect. Be everything we want you to be. Maybe we should be a little bit more involved in that process. So yeah, I release, and yeah, I let go, and yeah, I begin again. But I have to do it differently than I've done it in the past, or else some things will just keep recycling and resurfacing, and it might be the things I don't really want. But this idea of New Year's, a new celebration of life, a universal reset button, what a nice opportunity that we all share in this month of January, and sometimes in other months, because so many faith traditions, so many cultures have that reset button, whether it's called a new year or something else. There are a lot of ways that around the globe we celebrate our opportunities to reset. Release is a crucial step in setting a new year and in moving forward. Because you know you can't bring something new into life until you get rid of something old. If you were talking about buying clothes, for example, and you just kept buying and buying and buying and never got rid of anything, you'd need like 5 or 6 closets in the course of a lifetime in order to fit all the clothes in. So what do? We take a look at what's in the closet. We take a very close look at what's there. And we say, well, I don't look that good in that color anymore. Or, you know, I really liked that when I bought it, but I've only worn it once. Or it's just not in style anymore. Or it doesn't fit. Not that that's ever happened, of course. It could go either way. It could be too large or it could be too small. Some things don't fit anymore, and there's no judgment in that. But when we find that, it's time to put that clothing item aside before you can add anything else. Mayim Bialik, you know who that is? She's an actress, she's a neuroscientist, she's one of the hosts of Jeopardy now. I saw her recently talking about one of the most wonderful birthdays that she's had in her life, and it was, I guess, fairly recent. Her children asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said, I want you to help me clean out the closet. And they said, oh boy. But they did it as a family, and she said it was a wonderful experience, that together they could see what they wanted to keep in her personal closet and in the garage. They could release the things that weren't working anymore, and then they could rebuild, restructure that space in a new way so that it would work for them a whole lot more. We have the opportunity to do that with our physical space and with our psychic space and with our spiritual space. We can clean out what isn't working and we can make room for something new. But a big part of that has to do with opening our hearts. Because abundance happens after release, but abundance can only happen if we release. Some of you were in my transformation class about a year ago. I'm not offering the class right now, so nothing I'm saying is to try to entice you or talk you into being part of the class. Until next time. Part of that class is release. It's a step in the process. And the step that comes right after the release step is abundance. One leads to the other. It's a gentle clearing. There's no anger in it. There's no resentment in it. We do it because we choose to. We do it because it feels right. I have had the chance to release a few friends. It happens sometimes. We all grow, and sometimes we grow in different directions. As one of my favorite ministers says, I love them, but from a distance. I released part of my professional work. It was something I thought I'd always want to do. Oh, I love doing this part of my job. I never want to stop. And then I stopped. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that. But as soon as I released attachment to it, other opportunities started falling into place. And they wouldn't have if I hadn't been willing to release. And they're good things, so I'm glad that I was willing to release. I released resistance after it took me a long time to realize that I was resisting. But once I realized it, I was able to release resistance. I released worry. Worry is just not really a good thing for a new thought minister to be doing. Worry is not present tense. Worry is not here and now. Worry's thinking about the past, thinking about the future. So I let that go. I released control. Because as much as I know that I have a purpose in the world, as much as I know that I have a purpose in community and in people in my immediate circle, I'm not the only person who has purpose. I don't have to control how it all fits together. I just have to do my little piece, release the rest for others, and know that it all falls into place. And I released uncertainty. Maybe I'm in the process of releasing uncertainty. You know, there's that little voice in my head that says, what if I don't know what to do? I'm not sure I know what to do. A couple of months ago, I interviewed a gentleman named Michael Tubbs. He was the first person of color to be mayor of Stockton. He was also by far the youngest person to be mayor of Stockton. And he said he had that feeling going into office. He had that imposter syndrome, that feeling that maybe I don't know what to do. Because he was just in his mid-20s at the time. But when he got into office and looked around him at the people who had elected him, the people who wanted him to be there, the people for whom he was responsible, he said that imposter syndrome was no longer useful. That feeling that he wouldn't know what to do was not useful. Those were his words, just not useful. And he knew exactly what to do, and he did it. He was in his mid-20s. I was thinking about, what was I like when I was in my mid-20s? I had a big sense of, I don't know if I know what to do. Great uncertainty in my life at that time. I was a very shy kid, and it took me a long time to sort of step into something where I felt confident and felt like I knew what I was doing. There was a wonderful thing that happened to me in my mid-20s. I was already out of school, but I was still living in a college town, very small town, with a big university in it. And one Saturday morning, I was walking down the street, running some errand, walking down the street and feeling really self-conscious, and really feeling like, oh, I don't know, is my hair okay? I don't know about these shoes. I wish I had this bigger sense of knowing what I'm supposed to do. And as I was walking, I peripherally caught somebody across the street who looked like they knew what to do. And I didn't look because I was too shy. But I was thinking, that's what I want to be. I want to be the person who can walk down the street and feel confident and have my head up and know what I'm doing. And then I got up the nerve to look over there. And on the other side of this very small street in the center of town, there was a shop with the front just all glass. And the person who I saw was my reflection in the glass. I was already the person I wanted to be. I was already confident, or faking some sort of confidence, and believed what I was seeing. It was a wonderful experience to have, and one that I still remember 5 years later. But what a great thing to understand that we already are who we want to be. We already have that, whatever it is. We're being guided for who we are and what we're supposed to do. And all we have to do is release and make room for it. Opening your heart sometimes happens in emergency situations. Have you ever met a person who's gone through some sort of life-changing, life-altering experience? They never go back to who they were or who they thought they were. They always move forward, and they're always different because of the experience. A couple of friends of mine have gone through some real awful, life-changing health problems in the last couple of years. One of them had a series of heart attacks, that very odd cardiac experience called the widowmaker that a lot of people don't live through. His wife had a very hard time with it because she became the care provider. The guy who had the heart attack made it through and went forward in his life, but his wife really had some trouble with it. She's a person who expresses herself best through poetry. So she sat down and started to write, and started to write, and started to write, and kept writing until she published a book of poems that explains in a beautiful sense what happened to her husband and how she and her family got through that. And what's nice about that is that from their difficult time, something good came, because somebody found out about her book, bought a bunch of copies of it, and donated it to their regional hospital. And now they're passed out to other people, other families who are going through something similar, so that they can find their way and know that they're not alone. But they're not alone. They're being guided. We're all being guided to do something, to figure out who we are, to express ourselves in some way, and to release and open up so that we can see all of that. One of the keys to opening your heart is not to second guess what's happening. Give it some consideration, of course, but don't second guess it. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I have asked for some guidance, when I have asked for some sort of a sign, tell me what I should be doing, and the thing drops out of the sky and lands in my lap, and I say, oh, no, not that. That's not the sign I was looking for. And that tells me I have to release that little bit of ego that thinks that I know better than divine guidance. I have to release that, or I can't do what I'm meant to do. We're being guided. We have to listen to the guidance. The work of Julia Cameron has inspired a lot of people. She wrote The Artist's Way 30 years ago, and every year she writes another book with a different angle on the artist's way, a different way of looking at that. The new one is called Seeking Wisdom, and it's about how she applies prayer. Not everybody feels that they pray. Some people pray a lot, some not at all. But there's something in this for everyone. Julia Cameron had an aha moment when she realized she was an alcoholic and realized she had to release alcohol as a substance, first of all, and then move through that, beyond that addiction, to be the parent she wanted to be the writer and artist she wanted to be. And she prayed for enlightenment. But the thing that I thought was very interesting that she said was that enlightenment is physical. I'd never thought about that. She said when she speaks to people and she sees she's getting through to them, their faces light up, their eyes get wide, they sit up straight. And she said, that's enlightenment. We think it's something else, we think it's just something internal, but enlightenment shows, enlightenment is physical, enlightenment is right there in front of us for everyone to see. She knew what to do. She just had to step aside and open her heart and know that she could be it. And she still serves as a great example after many years. So as I clean out my closet, my psychic, spiritual, and physical closet, I'm going into this new year with a couple of mantras, and I'm going to share them with you because if I keep them to myself, I might not do them. But if I say them out loud and share them with you, then I'm a little bit more accountable. So here we go. One of them comes from a song by Alison Krauss, whose music I just love. She sings a song that is in very many ways straightforward, old school Christian. But there's a line in the song that choked me up the first time I heard it, and it still does every time I hear the song. Take my life and let me be a living prayer, my God, to thee. Let me be a living prayer. We can interpret that any way we want to. But the idea of releasing and stepping into something for the greater good is something we can all get something from. The other mantra is a derivative of an old saying, nothing you do for a child is ever wasted. Well, I'm not necessarily always around children, other than myself. Sometimes I'm dealing with adults, sometimes I'm dealing with animals. So I've tweaked that a little bit to say, nothing I do is ever wasted. So that's how I'm going into 2022, with those great examples of people around me who have taught me so much, with a couple of strong mantras, and with a clean spiritual closet. And I wish the same for you in this new year. My heart is open wide, and I wish that for you as well. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Donna. It was great. All right, so now it's our time for our joyful time of giving. And so we're going to bring up some ways that you can give on the screen while we're here virtually and no one's in the room with us. And so they're pretty easy. You can use your phone. You can text the word Imani to 44321. There's a donate button that's on our newsletter and our email blasts. And if you're not getting those, you can sign up for them at theImaniCenter.org, where there is another donate button. And if you're having trouble with those newsletters and email blasts, check your spam folder. And then if you're still having trouble, reach out, and I'll connect you with Jen, who will help you make sure those are getting into your inbox. Because we send one out every week that kind of tells you what's going on this week, and then every month for the whole month. You can use your bank app, and you can set up a one-time donation or a weekly donation, a monthly donation, whatever serves you, and that way you have complete control of your donation from your app. And you can still mail us a check, write it out to the Imani Center, and send it to 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite Number D in Cameron Park, California, 95682. There should be a link that's dropping right now in the comments, so look for that. And however you choose to give, we're just so grateful. We really cannot do it without the full community. We continue to obviously pay our lease payment, our utilities, and all of the things that are required to keep the center going, to keep showing up here every Sunday, bring classes. And so we're just grateful for whatever it is that you do to support us. And so as you're at home and maybe you're doing your text to donate or whatever right now, following that link, let's just take a moment to go into prayer and bless those tithes and offerings. And so again, allowing your eyes to close if that feels comfortable, becoming fully present in this moment, and just breathing in Spirit. Breathing in that connection and knowing that there is only one source of all that is, and that it is complete abundance. It is opulent and overflowing, and its very nature is to give and to share and to fill and overflow our cup. And so this is coming to each and every one of us, to the Imani Center. And so To stay in this flow, we receive and we give, and we receive and we give, and it is a divine flow, and it is happening right now in this space, in your homes, in your hearts. You just have to say yes. And so I'm so grateful to be in this flow. I'm so grateful to know that the Imani Center is in this flow, and that everyone listening and showing up and part of this community is divinely blessed by this flow. Coming in and going out, supporting each other, raising all boats as the tide rises together. And so I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done right now, easily, and so it is. And now a song again from the wonderful Ascension. Done. Okay, so now it is time for us all to stand and sing The Presence is Here together. So wherever you are, just stand and join us.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will lead you in grace. I will lead you in grace.
I will meet you in grace. We take this with us as we go forward today, through the week, through the months to come, and throughout this year in which we release and begin again. Our hearts are open. We already are who we need to be and who we want to be. So we see each other in grace and we go forward. And so it is.
And so it is. Namaste.